Welcome to Rhythm and Rose Las Vegas. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. On today's show, we have a very special guest, singer, songwriter, and actress, Rachael Mann. Welcome, Rachel, to Rhythm and Rose Las Vegas.
Well, hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy that you came on the show to share your story. So it's a pleasure to have you on.
Well, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
excited to talk with you.
I'm excited to talk with you. So, all right, Rachel. So, I've seen your videos and wow, like your voice is incredible. Like you can
Oh,
really, yeah, the different ranges that you do with you. I'm like, oh my God, good thing I'm not holding a glass and shattered because how high your voice gets. I'm like,
oh
oh
no.
geez, it's such a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. But one thing I didn't know that you were an actress as well. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, the cool thing about acting and singing is they go hand in hand. They're in the
They
same
do.
world. They
Yeah.
really are. Like anytime I've done some acting gigs, I feel like I'm on the set of doing like a music video. They're the
Oh, cool.
same.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Right.
if you're gonna act, when you're doing music videos too, you're actually acting. You're
Right.
moving your mouth to the song and you have to get into it and get your emotions into it and stuff like that. So the two worlds really do collide. They're the same people, they're the same producers, they're the same
Very true.
cameras, they're the same really. So it's they really do go hand in hand.
That they do. And I'm glad that
Yeah.
you do both. So,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Well, before we get into that field of yours of songs and what movies you've been in or shows, we want to kind of get to know your story of just how you started, at what age you discovered the fact that you could sing, your desire to want to act, be on either Broadway, whatever theater, from that point. But a lot of the foundation of us starting is usually when we're young, right? You have the desire,
Mhm,
the dream
mhm,
that's so important that you're like, man, I want to become a pop singer, or I want to be a famous actress, and you
mhm,
pursue those goals. Yeah, so we want to go back to chapter one of Rachel Mann. So,
mhm.
you want to go ahead and share that?
Yeah, so chapter one. So from when I was born to age 7, music was not in any part of my vocabulary. I'm just a little kid, playing with my Barbies, playing with kids at school, but I grew up in a musical environment. Going back to old videos of when I was a child, anytime Christmas would come around, anytime we'd have a family get together, we would all do songs. Like if we're singing Christmas songs, my grandmother had an organ, so she'd be playing the organ. My father has an acoustic guitar, he's playing the guitar. My uncle had a mandolin, so he was playing the mandolin. My mom had a flute, playing the flute, and then my other uncle had a recorder and he was playing the recorder. So it was around me, but of course I'm a kid, I'm not thinking about singing or anything. But I just remember vividly. I think I was in my garage as a kid. I turned 7 year like when I was 7 years old, and I just started singing out of the blue. It was nothing that I prayed about. Again, little kids are not really thinking about stuff like that usually. I just started singing. Now, nobody in my family really sings, even though they've played instruments and things like that. But I just started singing, and I remember then at my school that we had like a Christmas, 12 days of Christmas that we had to do for our parents. And of course, my line was Seven Swans of Swimming. And of course, I was 7 years old, started singing at the age of 7. That was like my line. And I remember singing that. And then I just started singing like everywhere, like in my house. I remember I was in my car and my uncle, I was singing The Little Mermaid because, who doesn't sing Little Mermaid, a little girl? They love that.
What
And
song
I
was that?
remember, yeah, and I
Wait,
remember I was in,
yeah.
what now?
I know I was gonna say, what song were you singing of Little Mermaid?
Oh, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? And
Oh,
that's
please
like,
keep going, girl. No, keep
yeah.
going. Yeah. Let's just all sing together this beautiful song.
Part of your world. That's what she
Yes.
sang. So that's what Ariel sings.
Please
So I
continue
was
on part of your world. Let's finish the song. I just play. Go ahead.
And I
That
remember
was
I was in
actually
my
nice though.
van. Yeah, I was remember I was in the van singing that song, and my uncle was like, "Who is that singing?" And I was like, "It was me, it's me." And he was like, "That can't be you." And yes, it is. and really like kind of just growing up, I just started singing. Like I just loved it so much. My parents bought me a karaoke machine, so I used to spend hours in my room singing. I used to create songs. Even as a kid, like we would put on little plays and skits for our family during family get-togethers. So it was around me being in this musical family that I and doing plays and skits for family. And then growing up in church, I would do skits. I would be a part of the choir for the kids and doing skits at church. And then eventually I started doing skits at school, and it just kind of started growing from there. So um, I started singing at the age of 7, but I loved it so much that I kind of self-trained myself really, as because I spent hours in my room just singing, and I loved it. They would have to knock a time to eat, because I'd be there singing the whole time. So I grew up around it some, but really a lot of the singing just came from the love that I had for it.
Wow, that's amazing. The fact that you self-taught yourself, is that like
Mhm.
really? You didn't have
Yeah.
no training from going to a professional teacher who all
There
that?
was about 6 months of maybe I was like 13 or 14, and I went to this choir teacher, like this lady for like 6 months, but I didn't really learn anything, just to be honest with you, because I just kind of spent time in my room doing my own thing. I taught myself harmonies, I taught myself all that. So I kind of did that pretty much myself.
Well, that's incredible. Great job. And it definitely worked out with
Thanks.
that karaoke machine too. That helped.
Karaoke machines were good.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, good job on that little snippet of our exclusive of I was gonna say it's a small world.
Yeah.
The other
Part of your
song.
world.
Part of your world, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me started on that song. It's like
Yeah.
on and on. You're like, oh Lord.
It's a world of laughter. Oh, it's like, okay.
Okay, now that's gonna be stuck in my
Oh
mind throughout
no,
the whole day.
sorry.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks. Jeez.
And that does, it's like a row, row, row your boat. It just keeps going and going and going. It will never
Yeah,
stop.
exactly. Well,
Uh-huh.
I did want to mention something, and I wanted to hear your side on this story of your life. But were
Mhm.
you brought up in church?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you, I mean, I would like to know your story of how you came to know or have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah. So I grew up, my parents are Christian. So I grew up in a Christian household. Pretty much, I grew up in South Alabama. So pretty much like everybody in my family was Christian. I grew up in the South. I grew up, going to church every Sunday with my parents. I got, baptized as, I grew up Methodist. So, they kind of did the sprinkle water as a kid, but then I went to Israel as I got older, and I got baptized in the Jordan River, which was pretty cool. um,
Wow, that's
but,
cool.
so I grew up, what now?
No, I said that's cool.
It
Yeah.
was cool, yeah. But I grew up in a Christian household, and my parents said that I kind of accepted Christ for myself at 5. I'm a little kid, so of course I said, "Do you accept Jesus?" Yes. So that's kind of like the little talk I had with them. But of course, I'm 5, so I don't really understand anything at 5. I just grew up in church. But then around 11 years old, it's called confirmation class, where it's like you kind of go and you start learning about the Bible. You're older at that point, you kind of have this opportunity to learn things. And so at that point, at the confirmation classes, when I kind of stood up publicly in front of family, friends, and just said, "Hey, I confirm that I actually believe this now." So that's my story growing up with that. But of course, growing up, went to high school, kind of in high school, you want to be popular, and the popular kids weren't going to church. I mean, they might have been, but they weren't living it. And I remember I really wanted to fit in. So there was a time frame where I just kind of didn't want to. I was singing at church, but at school, I was acting a different way. And I think what got me to change in that aspect was I was in 11th grade and I was at lunch. I went to a huge high school. I mean, there was thousands of people in my grade. And so there's a lot of peer pressure. And I remember this one girl was looking at me and she thought I was doing a lot of drugs because of the way I was acting, not necessarily that she saw me, but I was portraying. She was like, I thought you did that. And I was like, what kind of person am I if I'm portraying that lifestyle? Here I am singing at church, and this person thinks that I'm doing this. And that kind of was a wake up call for me that I needed to change the way I was acting. So um, I rededicated my life to Christ. And, it's been a lifelong relationship and journey. And it's a choice. It's really my choice to, hey, do I want to still follow him or not? And I choose to, like, daily, like, you have to date. That's why it says daily pick up your cross and follow him. Because it's like it's a daily thing. It's not like, oh, you just wake up, la la la. You have to daily choose to, like, hey, God, this is your day. I'm giving it over to you. This is it, so, and that goes with every aspect of my life, music, everything, like opportunities I take, acting gigs I take, whatever. It's all encompassing in that.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. And I want to, so back to when you were saying that she looked at you and was like, something like, were you on drugs or something? Like, were you on
Yeah.
drugs or like, what were you
No.
doing?
I
So,
I never I never have taken drugs,
so
never
what were you doing
smoked.
then that made it seem
I
like
was
that?
I was probably saying a lot of words I shouldn't have been saying, hanging out with people I shouldn't have been hanging out with. I think it was like my persona that I was giving off. So she never physically saw me, but she might have seen, like, smoking or drinking or whatever, but she might have seen who I was hanging out with and the way I was
Oh, I see.
acting.
I see. That
And
makes
it was
sense.
like she just put the two together, like, oh, she's got to be doing this because this person is, and also the way she's acting, she doesn't
Yeah.
act like she's acting like these people that are doing this.
Yeah.
And so that was a wake up call for me because I'm like, man, what kind of person am I portraying? Here I am singing at solos at church, and then at school, people think I'm doing drugs. I'm like, what kind of person am I portraying here?
Well, I'm glad that you realized that at a young age, even in high school,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And it helps too that I have really great parents. I have a really good dad. That
That's
really
good.
helps as well because
Yeah.
as a female, having a good father, um, I didn't want to come home to my parents and them being upset with me because they thought I was going getting drunk or whatever and coming home. The last thing I wanted to see is the disappointment on my parents' face. I mean, it's like that's like a terrible feeling. Because I love my parents, and it's like
Yeah.
the last thing I wanted to do was see my dad being like, hey, what are you doing? Like that's just
Yeah.
like, you don't want to see that.
Of course not.
So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I had to change some of the ways I was living, the
Have,
way I was acting.
so from that point to the 20s, your 30s,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I would take it you're 21, so we'll leave it at that.
sure. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, yeah. But have you ever had a journey of your part of your life where you did kind of go on that prodigal son or prodigal
Kind of, yeah.
daughter?
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what happened with this. This is pretty cool. So when I was 17 and I graduated from high school, I started working on an album, and it was like my first true album. It was recorded in Birmingham Birmingham, Alabama, at this huge recording studio. And it was like these, you wouldn't think it would be in Birmingham, but it was. And people from Nashville would actually come there and record. It was a great studio. I actually did a lot of jingles there as well. So the producer that was there that owned the studio that I did the album with, he also would hire me to come in and do some jingles. And I did like a big jingle for Nashville. There's a hospital there called Williamson Medical Center. And I did a huge jingle for them. Um, it was just really fun. So from like 17 to 20, I was working on this album. It was a 12 song album. It was really long. I co-wrote all the songs. It was like a masterpiece. I mean, it was like kind of like during that time frame where everybody did albums. So you didn't do CD, you didn't do just a single on Spotify, you did albums. And so at that time, we had come in contact, my parents and I had come in contact with a person that used to work at Curb Records. And if you know anything about Curb Records, it's like huge country label, like Faith, I think Faith Hill was on it and all this kind of stuff. But this one lady, she branched off of Curb Records and was now starting her own um, like firm where she was trying to get artists on with her to see about getting signed. So we gave her like a 2 year window of like trying to see about getting me signed. And even though some cool opportunities came from it, I never got signed. So at that point, that's when it was like, if you didn't get signed, you're done. It wasn't like today where you can be an independent artist and do your own
Yeah.
thing. It was like, if you weren't signed, you're out of there. And
Wow.
so I never got signed. And so I was like so frustrated. I worked so hard for years and years and years for the one moment to get signed, and I never got signed. So at that point, my dad was like, Rachel, listen, you've put off college, you've put off this, you've put off that. You're going to need to get some schooling because we don't know what's going to happen with you now. We tried, nothing happened. We worked really hard, nothing happened. So now it's like you kind of got to do something else. And I was like, I'm done singing. I'm done. I was so
You could
frustrated.
have your karaoke machine back.
Yeah, yeah. I could get rid of the karaoke machine. I'm done. Like I was
Yeah.
so frustrated because I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And so my dad was like, well, hey, there's some really, I was living in Alabama at the time. He's like, hey, there's a really good college for dental assisting. You might be really good at that. So I signed up to be a dental assistant and I went to the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And I walked in there and I was like done singing. I said, I'm not singing anymore. I'm done. And I'm going to focus on school. I'm going to be a dental assistant. That's what I'm going to do. And literally, though, so I never told anybody I sang. I didn't want anybody to know I sang. I was done. Like, I was so angry and not angry at God. I was just angry at the situation. And I was like, I'm done. And I walked in, and literally, like, after the first week, I had a girl, like, I would walk into school, like, let's say it was a Friday, and that Monday I would walk in. And this girl looked to me and said, I looked you up online. I was like, you looked me up online. Why? She
Wow.
said, I don't know. There was just something about you. And I looked you up online and you never told us that you sang. And I
Wow.
said, I said, I didn't want anybody to know. And this kept happening. I went to a church. I started going to this church and I didn't want anybody to know that I sang. And this girl came up to me and said the same thing. She said, I looked you up online and I had no clue that you sang. And this would happen to me it happened to me a lot. I mean, a lot. And I never told anybody I sang. I never wanted anybody to know that I sang. It wasn't any other business. I was angry. And literally, I kept having people coming up to me saying, I didn't know you sang. So, literally, like God was chasing me down. Like I was trying to quit. I was trying to stop. I didn't want anything to do with it. And people kept chasing me down saying, I saw you online. I kept looking at you online. So, at the end of the year, this is the cool thing. At the end of the year, I started off saying, I never want to sing again. And at the end of the year, I sang at my college graduation.
Is
And
that
they asked
right?
me to sing, and I sang. Kirk
Wow.
Franklin has a song called My Life is in Your Hands. And
I
that's
remember
what I
that
sang.
one. I remember that
Yeah.
song.
So I
Yeah.
sang that song, and it's true. My life is in his hands. So
Wow.
I sang that song. And ever since then, like kind of after that, I moved to Nashville and then so there was uh, I've definitely had a journey with singing. Like and when because that happened to me, I'm never gonna stop again. I will
Yeah.
never I might, you might go through seasons where you don't do as much because let's say if you're raising a family or something like that. I get all that. But like just stopping in general, no way. I'm not because it's you can't stop because you keep getting chased down. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Really. God sending people your way. Like, no, you're not gonna
yeah,
stop. That's
yeah,
incredible. Wow. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing that testimony. I really
yeah,
think yeah, that definitely was God letting you know. I didn't tell you to stop. Like,
yeah,
you could have a break, but I didn't tell you to
yeah.
stop
Right,
completely.
right. And when it comes from him, like when you're a kid and you have a gift that comes from him, like I didn't give me the voice, right? It didn't come from myself. Yes, you have to nurture it. You have to train, like with the training I did, I have to
Yeah.
practice. I'm not just going to sit around and like not use it. If I'm not singing one week, I'm going to be practicing in my car or practicing in my house so I can make sure it's ready to
Right.
go. So I'm not going to not just sing and stuff. Like I practiced today and I'm not singing anywhere until next weekend. So I'm like but I want to keep it up. So
Yeah.
it's a muscle. Like you have to keep it going and keep it warmed up. So when someone does say, "Hey, sing Part of Your World" by Ariel,
Yeah, that's what I was
right,
saying. That's what I was
right,
gonna say. Is like you even sing us a snippet today.
yeah, like so you can be prepared.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I think that's pretty much my prodigal son moment with especially with music. Like I was done and then I came back.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you came back because
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, you've definitely been on an incredible journey ever since that part of that chapter. But yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't listened to your songs unfiltered.
thanks.
You want to talk about even Control? I mean, you
Yeah.
probably noticed that I posted Control with your poster.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great song. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's with Didn't Have to Do It?
Well,
You want
that
to share the
one's
story of that one?
yeah, that one's really cool. So I co-wrote that song about 10 years ago, in Nashville with several co-writers, Julie Kiltonick, Donna Davenport, and Cedric Williams. And so we co-wrote that song in Nashville at this really cool place called NSAI. It's like a really cool songwriting place where you can get together. And I think it's off of Music Row. And we literally like went into the songwriting room and we just sat there and just started writing the song and it flowed out. And it's like the thought of the song from the beginning was it was going to be a duet. It was going to be like a soulful sound, like kind of like a BBCC Winans idea. Like that was like my whole thought about the song. Like from all of us from the beginning, we knew it was going to be a duet. But you know, it never we it's all it was always in the back of my mind. And then somehow, some way, Julie Keltonic, who was one of the co-writers, we had been friends, but then we kind of got disconnected. But she reached out and she said, God has really placed it on my heart that all these songs that I've written that have never had anything happen to it, to bring it back out again. And I'm willing to basically invest in those. And you know, it is very expensive to record. So a lot of times, like I have like 10 songs right now I would love to record, but I'm waiting for the, you know, it costs, you know, and so you have to have the funds to do it. And, you know, I'm praying about that. You know, I have so many songs and it's sometimes you just have to come out with them in sequences because it's, and the producer I have, Nathan Walters, who was in the group Plus One, if you remember that group, that boy band Christian group, he's
Actually,
phenomenal.
actually saw Plus One with Jackie Velasquez when they were on tour.
Cool.
This was like I think 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, it's like seeing In Sync, but they're Christian.
Right. Yeah. And so, and I think I saw the same tour because I saw
Yeah,
them in
probably.
concert with her tour. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same
Um,
one.
but Nathan produces now and he's so good. And it's like he produced Control, he produced Unfiltered, and he produced Didn't Have
Wow,
to
that's
Do It.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And like I don't really want to work with anybody else because he's so good. But it's like he also you know, he does charge a fee, which he should. And so I'm, you know, I want to make sure I have that to pay. That's why it's like I don't have all these songs recorded right now that I want to do. But he's great. Like he works with people. So if people need Nathan, give him a call because he's awesome. And he does work with people. He does payment plans and all that. And I'm not trying to endorse him, but I'm just saying he's awesome. So if anybody wants to work with him, he's great. Um, but so didn't have to do it, was like 10 years, didn't record it. And then Julie had it on her heart in 2024 that God, all these songs that she wrote that never went anywhere, God placed on her heart that now let's put some money into it and let's go do something with these songs. So she felt like she wanted to invest in some songs, and the first song that she felt led to invest in was Didn't Have to Do It. And I was like, girl, I said, I remember this song. I love this song. It's still been on my heart as well. I remember the recording. I remember the writing session. I remember all of it. And so there's an artist by the name Terrell Davy that I remember that I used to know in Nashville. He's his own solo artist, really great guy. And I reached out to him because I really felt like he would need. There was a couple of guys I reached out to, and he was the one that was on my heart pretty much the most to do this song. And so I asked him, "Hey, do you want to sing this song?" He said yes. So in 2025, and I think it was May of 2025, Terrell, me, Julie, and Nathan got together at this really cool studio in Nashville called Gray Box Studios. It was really neat. And basically, we went in there and we recorded it like within 2 days. We recorded, didn't have to do it, filmed it. Nathan's brother came, did the filming, That's where we got the lyric video from. And so then Nathan edited, he did all the producing, he did all the mastering, he did everything. And we ended up releasing that in 2025 and September 5th of 2025. That song's done really well. And it's been nominated for several awards. Um,
Really? Wow.
yeah, so it's been nominated for a Gospel Choice Music Award. It was nominated, but then we were nominated for 6 Voices of Gospel Music Awards.
Wow.
That award show is May the 30th, and I'm going to it. It's in Mobile, Alabama. Um, Julie's going to go too. So, and you have to be there to accept the award. So if we win, we have to be there to accept it. But we're also putting our name in for hopefully a Grammy with this song.
Dang. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
Well,
we know someone that's on the Grammy board,
yeah,
and she's willing, she's already told us that she will put it in she'll nominate it basically.
that's awesome.
And you
Wow.
have to have that person to nominate it to even get in. So,
Is that right?
and
Okay.
yeah, and I also put in for a Stellar Award too. So, because the Stellar Awards said that they really needed some independent artists this year, and they said that we're looking for independent artists. So, I submitted that for the Stellars too. So I don't know anything yet. I don't know who's won. I don't know if I got nominated. I don't know, but that's kind of like stuff that I'm working towards.
Well, I got to say that's incredible. Congrats again on your song. Didn't have to do it.
Thank you.
You and the crew. I mean, wow. Hopefully it gets nominated for a Grammy. That'd be so cool.
I know. And if you look at, we actually looked up a lot of recent winners that have won some Grammys. Some of them are people that you may have never heard of before. And it's just they did it right. They did it in the right pattern. They did it in the right way, and it's a really good song. I think Nathan did a really good job. The words are great. A lot of people that I've actually got a comment today on something, and someone was like, really sounds good. The vocals sound good, and I really love the lyrics. And there's I don't know too many songs out there that say, God, you didn't have to bring your son, but you did. I mean, you hear it in songs, but that's what didn't have to do it. Like, if you really think about it, like, he did not have to do that for us. Like, he didn't, but he did anyway. Right. So it's like, when you think about that, like, gosh, you did not have to do this for me, but you decided to. It was your choice to do this. Like, this was, you're, it blows your mind when you really think about that for a minute. Like, it's just, it really, this kind of blows your mind.
Yeah. And
So
so
that's
like
why we
for
wrote
me,
it.
no, yeah, no, I'm glad. I was sorry for that little pause there, guys. Just
No.
we all have our weeks of struggle,
Yeah.
weeks of wonder, weeks of
Yeah.
questioning,
Yeah.
weeks of the
Yeah.
whys. And it's just not, it's okay to ask why.
It
But
is
then,
okay.
but then when you come to that point of saying, wait, there is someone that died for me and
Yeah.
loved me more than life itself, and who can love me
Yeah.
more than anyone on this earth can.
Yeah.
And like, who am I? And he loves me and knows what I need in my life.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, well, why he already, even before I even ask, he already knows what I need.
Right.
So it's like I'm taken care of. Like, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is we forget the blessings of the past. We forget what he's done in the past because we're so focused on the present of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like the Israelites, right? Like he brought them out of Egypt.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going into this Bible sermon now, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
No.
no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, but like, yeah, he brought you out of Egypt, he brought everyone
Yeah.
out like that. But then look, like
Yeah.
that 11-day journey was from Egypt to the promised land. It was only supposed to take 11 days, but
Yeah.
because of their hearts, where their heart
Yeah.
was at, they're
Yeah.
complaining
Yeah.
and they forgot what God did. It's like, and
Yeah.
I went to 40 years, like,
Yeah. Could you
it's
imagine
like
that?
what?
Gosh,
Sometimes
I
I
know.
forget that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
anyway.
it is okay to actually, I was watching something today on YouTube. It was really cool. I love watching um like where you go to the people that are doing the artifacts, and they find these old biblical
Oh, right.
locations,
Yeah.
and like, because it kind of brings it to life.
Yeah.
And the guy that was doing the digging, he was like, it's okay to ask these questions, like, God, was it real? Did it happen? Because we didn't physically see it with our eyes, so of course
Right.
we're going by faith. And it's like, did this happen? And he's like, it's okay to ask, but then when you see this come to life at the exact same place where it said it was in the Bible, at the exact same location, at this is like, so I love watching like the biblical artifacts, but that's something even today, like the guy said, like, hey, it's okay to ask questions. God is not intimidated by your questions. He wants you to ask, like, hey, that keeps you in relationship with him. Like, hey, God, like, prove to me, show me, like, where is this in the Bible? Show me this, show me that. Like, can you explain to me this and that? And then a lot of times when you pray those prayers, then an answer will come in some form of way. And it might be watching a YouTube show where you can see physically the same locations where it's listed in the Bible and they're digging it up. It's like those things are cool to me. So I actually watched something like that today. So it's okay to ask questions, and that's one thing that he said is like, God's not intimidated by your questions. He's heard it all. He's heard
Oh yeah,
everything.
I totally agree. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, what a blessing, just the fact of where he's gotten you, and even
Yeah.
with part of your journey that you've wondered how this was going to work.
Yeah.
Even when you wanted to quit music and here God was like, nope, you're not done. I have something for
Yeah.
you. That's really
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to encourage anybody, if you have a calling, which all of us have a different calling, it doesn't have to be music, it could be this or that. Some people are really good. Some people are great artists, they're incredible painters. And they were just born knowing how to do that. I know, I have so many friends. My sister's this way. She is such a good artist. She doesn't sing or anything like that, but she is great with art, and I have no desire for art. I can't. I mean, not that I don't love like painting and stuff, but she's just amazing at it. She has her own little space and she creates things, and it's really good. My mom is an avid. She loves being out in the yard all day. Like that's just something she loves to do. She's a huge gardener. She knows everything about plants and all this kind of stuff. I have no desire for that. So like everybody has a different created call, and it's just giving that call over to God and saying, hey, what do you want to do with this? Like, hey, you gave me this. Now what do I do with it? It's yours to begin with because you gave it to me. So here I give it back to you. Now let's go together on this journey and you tell me what to do. And I'm still on this journey. You are, like, we're both on this journey of, hey, God, I'm just trying to be faithful to what you told me to do, and let's go through it together. And if he tells me to go over here or go over there, that's what we have to do.
No, that's very true. And thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
encourage, yeah, that's very great encouragement. And just knowing that we all have a certain gift that God's blessed us
Yeah.
with. Doesn't have to be music like you mentioned.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be the small little things of just maybe giving your time to those that would like to have some company, or
Sure.
you
Yeah.
were blessed with a good ear to listen and be
Yep.
there to comfort.
Yes.
Even just a volunteer somewhere, Salvation Army, just giving your time
Yep.
to that. You never know.
Yep.
So
That's right. And some people do, they have a very good, they have such compassion for others, and which we should all have, but some people really have that gift of just like giving.
yeah,
And they're very compassionate, and that's what they love to do, is just go into volunteer and soup kitchens and all that.
yeah.
Just as important as what I'm doing, you know what I
It
mean?
is.
So
Yeah, very. No, yeah. Sometimes God doesn't ask for you to do the big things. Just start with the small, little
that's
things here
right.
and there. Start
Yes,
or even start at home.
that's right.
Start where you're at, like at your house.
Yeah.
Be
Or
a
on
blessing
Facebook.
there.
Yeah, Facebook, just putting a little note, Jesus loves you. You never
Yeah,
know how someone's going to react to that. They might have just needed to hear that at that one moment.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Cheers to that. Here. Cheers to that. I love
Cheers to my lipstick.
that. Yeah. So so next time I'm gonna tell my guests, please bring a drink, not lipstick, so we could
Hey.
toast together. I just
I
play.
need to bring my coffee. I love coffee, by the way. I'm a huge
Oh, thank
coffee person.
God.
Yeah,
I'm a huge
I
coffee
love
fan too.
coffee. Yes, I'm a coffee person.
So what kind of coffee do you like?
So several. I
Oh
love
man,
I love
these hard
espresso.
questions.
Yeah, I know. I love espresso. I love cold brewed coffee too.
Oh yeah, cold brew.
There's a coffee two types. So Rise, you know that coffee brand Rise, R
Yeah.
Rise. Okay, so they reached out to me to be a brand ambassador for them.
Oh,
So I'm going to
cool.
start
Heck yeah.
posting stuff with them pretty soon. I tried some of their coffee; it's really good. And then there's also another kind of coffee. It's all organic, so I love that. But it's called Focus, and it's like the brand is called Focus, I think, and it's really good. Like that's kind of it's been a really good coffee, but when I go out, like, and I go to a coffee shop, I love like lattes. I love getting it in a little cup and like, and then like, there's like a lavender latte that they can make. Like, it's really good. So I'm a coffee girl
Heck
all day
yeah.
long.
Well, I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
You know, one of my cool experiences was when I went to this coffee shop in San Diego. It was
hmm
called God, I forgot the name. But anyway, uh but they put chili in it,
Whoa.
like cayenne pepper. But
Wow.
but it was like the sprinkles of it. It wasn't like crazy.
hmm
But
hmm
when you drink it, it gave it a nice little kick, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's neat.
So
Could you taste it? Like the chili in there? Like you probably could,
yeah.
right?
No, I
Okay.
mean, well, it was just like they're not. It's just little sprinkles like there, and
Yeah.
then so
Nice.
I went in Sprouts and bought a little thing of the cayenne pepper, and yeah, so I sprinkle it here and there in my own coffee, but
Cool.
it's so good. It gives it
Yeah.
so when you drink it, you're like, "Ooh, wow, I'm awake
Uh-huh.
now."
Uh-huh. And I do cinnamon in mine, so I put a little cinnamon in
Yeah,
my
I do
coffee.
both, the
Yeah.
cayenne and then the cinnamon powder. But yeah,
Nice.
it's good. It's good stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
now I want some coffee.
I know. I'm all like, hold on, guys. All this coffee talk. Okay. Well, Rachel, I want to know real quick what's next for you on your
So
music.
what's
Oh,
yeah, so what's next for
sorry,
me? Oh, so it's okay.
I got
What's
excited there.
well,
I know what's next for you. Oh shoot. Oh. See this coffee. Hey guys, if you drink cold brew, things like that happen where you get all like, oh God, that was a boost.
so what's next for me is I have a lot of music gigs coming up. I'm singing next weekend Georgia Tech for their national anthem. So I'm really excited about that. It's a
Dang girl, that's
really nice
awesome.
school. Do you
Heck
know anything
yeah.
about Georgia Tech? It's really cool. It's downtown Atlanta. It's a great, huge, nice, cool, state-of-the-art school. Like
That's
I
very
actually
cool.
sang for an NCAA swim meet with them for the national anthem, and I was so impressed by their school. Like I have a video on YouTube about it, so check out my YouTube page. You can see me going behind the scenes and singing at it, and I kind of take you on. I've been trying to do a lot of like behind the scenes so y'all can see what it's like, me getting out of my car, me having to go to these locations, because a lot of times I have no clue where I'm going because I've never been there before, and I'm like getting lost. And, and I actually have another video I'm going to be trying to work on today, of an acting gig. I just got to a movie premiere I got to be a part of, and I was like,
Wow.
I don't know where I'm going, and so I'm going to work on that. But I'm singing next weekend for the if it doesn't rain, the national anthem, because it might rain here. I've got some gigs lined up in Nashville in June. What'll be a lot of fun. The Museum of Christian and Gospel Music downtown Nashville. I'm singing there. And then I'm singing at this really cool, they do a lot of ride arounds, called Just Love Coffee in Spring Hill, Tennessee. So they do a lot of music gigs there. Like they have like a artist come, and then they have some people like kind of like a well-known artist, and then they have other people coming and singing. And so I'll be a part of that. And then I've got a lot of national anthems just this year, like singing for national anthems I've never sung at before, which is really cool. Um, I've got stuff like lined out for the year. Of course, if something pops up and it's a great opportunity, I'm gonna definitely look into that. Because so there's more dates that can be added, aka Erica that we talked about earlier. Hopefully, one
Yes.
day in the future, I'll reach out to her
Yeah.
after this interview.
Yes.
Um,
I'm gonna reach out to her too, be like, hey, you're gonna have
yeah,
some exciting news you're gonna be talking about
yeah.
soon.
Um, but yeah, so I've got some gigs lined up, and my sister and her husband and my niece live in Nashville. So when I go to Nashville, I'll be staying with them some. My niece is so precious. She's 9 years old and she loves me so much and I love her so much and I'll be able to hang out with her.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh.
And so I'm excited about that. And then I have an award show and the end of May that I'll be going to, and hopefully we win an award for didn't have to do it. If
That's
we
right.
don't, it's
Yeah.
fine. But I'll be doing that. So I have some cool things that are popping up. You know, if we get nominated for a Grammy, we'll be going there probably, which might
Wow.
be in Las Vegas. Who knows?
Oh,
You never know.
that's right. They do have the
Award
country
shows.
awards or yeah, at like
Yeah.
T-Mobile Arena or something.
Yeah, they have some stuff there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, keep
So you
me
never
posted.
know. It might be
I
held
would love to
there.
go there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'd love
So
to
I don't
be a part of
know.
that.
It would be, you know, if that door opens, which, you know, it could, you know, there's a chance it could, you know, the girl Julie that we are working on this a lot together, one of the co-writers of Didn't Have to Do It. You know, we pray about it a lot and we do pray like God, if it be in your will, open these doors. I don't want to be anywhere that I'm not supposed to be. So it could be a great opportunity, it could be really cool, it could be really exciting, but I don't ever want to be somewhere that's not God's plan for me. And that's like I don't care if I win millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like I don't care if I mean I'd love that. How fun would that be? But like I don't want to be anywhere I don't need to be. So if that's not our path, then I don't want it. And so and
Wow.
it might be disappointing, you know, you might, you know, because our human nature is like, oh my gosh, I want to do that so
Oh
bad.
yeah.
And I'd love to. I mean, it just within myself, yeah, it'd be really fun. But if that's not the path for me, then I don't want to be a part of it. Um, so that's like, so we're praying about it. Like that's why I'm saying like I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it'd be cool. And just to be nominated would be cool.
Oh, of
You
course.
know,
Yeah.
even if you didn't go, you know, it'd still be cool to be
Yeah.
nominated.
Wow. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I do apologize. I didn't even get into real quick the field of your acting. So I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like,
I'll
I
just
mean, what the heck? How rude of me. God, Josh, you didn't even bring just music and that's it.
Well, I can briefly just say, been acting my whole life. I've done a lot of movies. I've been a stand-in for a lot of stuff. Been doing a lot of music. I've been a part of a lot of music videos, like a lot of Christian music videos. I've been a part
Really?
of,
Oh, cool.
yes. If you go to Brandon Heath, Give Me Your Eyes, that song, there's a part in the airport where he's walking around and there's a girl that's like hugging a soldier, and the girl hugging the soldier is me. I had no clue who the guy was. They just said, "Hey, hug this guy," and so I was just like standing there, like still for like just standing. Um, so that's me. So if you go back and look at that music video, you'll see me. He
Okay.
walks right in front of us, so you can
Oh,
see.
okay.
Um, so this movie that I was just in, it's called Walking on Water. It's like a documentary. It was they aired it at Phipps Plaza in Atlanta at this really large AMC theater. So it was like the premiere. So I played it was basically like a documentary, and I acted in that. There's going to be another movie coming out where I actually have a speaking part in it. Um, I don't know when that's going to come out, but I played a mother. I'm not a mom, but I played a mother and to this little girl, and I had an acting part in it. And so of course, I was an acting part. I had a speaking part in it, and so I was speaking, and so that's the first like kind of speaking role I did with
Wow.
this. So there's a really cool. It's called Kingdom Authority Films. They are in Atlanta area, and they do a lot of documentaries and things like that. And I've been at least in three with them. And they're here in Atlanta, which is really cool. So I have really enjoyed doing that. And so that's like, so all of the acting I've kind of been a part of my whole life, church plays, skits, doing these movies has, you know, just been a part of that. You know, you're used to being in front of camera.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. And I'm actually going to be, I've already kind of done some behind the scenes pictures, but I'm actually going to be doing some video today. I have a couple, this is like my day of like editing videos. As you know, it takes forever. Um, so I have like some editing I want to do of me behind the scenes of this walking. It's called Walking on Water. And it's basically a documentary about God doing incredible miracles in people's life,
Wow.
and people talking about that. And so that's kind of what I was portraying a person in this documentary.
Yeah, no, I actually like the title Walking on Water.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
that's really
cool.
cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
catchy.
you would be impressed. Like it, you because I was really impressed. I was like, because we watched in the theater, and you were captivated the whole time. So like you with all the editing and stuff that you do, you would be like, this is actually really good. Like
Wow.
you never know what to expect. And so when I
Yeah.
watched it, I was like, this is great. The music was captivating. Like I was just watching. Like it was 2 hours, and we were just like everybody. It was like a quiet house. Like we were just all in. And it will probably come out pretty soon. I'm sure it will be on Netflix and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, yeah, keep
Yeah.
us posted on that. I take it you'll post it
Yeah.
on your Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I've posted stuff about it already, just tagging Kingdom Authority so you can people know where to follow
okay.
them. But it's really cool, and it starts off really cool. Like I feel like you'd really like it.
Yeah. No, I want to
Mhm.
definitely check it out. Well, speaking
Yeah.
of Instagram, what is your Instagram so the viewers can follow
Yeah.
you and stay updated on Rachel Mann's journey?
Yeah. So it's Rachel Mann Music on my Instagram. It's RachaelMann Music. Feel free to follow me. I also have a website, which is rachelmann.org. And there, I tell people if they'd like to partner with me, there is a donate tab. So people can actually help fund this journey, fund um, me working on new songs with Nathan, working on new songs. Um, Traveling, which costs to travel, so like traveling, doing this, doing that. So if anybody would ever like to partner with me, they can go to my website, and there's like that donate tab is click literally right there. And there's easy ways they can give. But definitely a follow is great on Instagram. Just follow the journey. I may or may not follow back if I don't, sometimes I do or don't. If I know the person, I might follow them back. But I'd love to have you follow along with me and just watch the journey.
Wow.
Because there's always new opportunities coming. So you never know. I might have something pop up today and I post about it tomorrow, so things happen all the time.
Yes, things do happen all the time. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely stay
Mhm.
posted on your journey.
Thank
But
you.
thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And guys, if you'd
Yeah.
like to share your story on Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas, my Instagram is Joshua Jacob Official. Feel free to send me a DM and we can schedule an interview for you to come on, share your story, testimony, just something new that you're working on. That'd be cool just to hear what you got going. So
Yeah.
yeah. And also if
And
you're in
definitely I
Las,
would recommend it. I would
oh yeah.
recommend any artist meeting with you. You're great.
Oh, well, thanks, Rachel. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you, Rachel Mann. Such a pleasure and honor to have you on the show. Guys,
Thank
this is
you.
Joshua Jacob with Rhythm and Roads, Las Vegas.